What you resist will persist. I really like that saying, particularly in regards to the subject of suicide, cutting the cord abruptly, not allowing to wait for the universe to do it for you, but taking it upon yourself to do such. It is a very, you know, awkward, if I can use the term, difficult subject to talk about, but hey, we can talk about anything, right? Just remember though, in this clip, I'm not actually focusing on the people who are left behind when someone departs. In fact, I'm talking about the person who departs. What you resist will persist. We may have all our theories on why people commit suicide and what happens to them. You hear from the dogmatic view, i.e., religion, that it's a very bad thing. You will go to hell. I've even heard something as crazy as you'll repeat the act over and over for eternity, but anyway, to each their own. But what I'm going to tell you now, in fact, is that suicide in itself is not a bad thing at all. Naive? Yes, but it's not a bad thing at all. You see, committing suicide is actually pressing the reset button. You are an eternal being. There was no beginning of you and there is no end. In regards to Earth, you are here for a reason, believe it or not. And if you are in the depths of despair over whatever, or you have an issue and you feel that you can only escape by killing yourself, you soon found out that that wasn't the case. You can't escape. What you resist will persist. It's not a bad thing in itself. 20, 30 years down the line from your birth this time, you decide to press the reset button. So you go back to zero. Be it in this realm or another, you start again. Why? Why have I made the journey from A to B and in the middle decided to go back to A? Just because I've reached the rocky road. That is suicide. Nothing more, nothing less. It's simply an act of naivety. I say naivety because you literally are trying to escape something that you cannot. You simply press the reset button. Whatever was troubling you enough for you to commit suicide, you will have to face until you face it and overcome it. So for those of us who may know someone who is depressed, who doesn't like their life, whatever, they say there's suicide watch, right? I wish this can all get out to you. Even those of you watching this right now, I hope it gets through to you. It is not a bad thing. You will not face condemnation from a sadistic, perverted God. But you have simply pressed the reset button. Oh, what a shame that would be. To go years down the line and go back to the beginning. For what? What you resist will persist. I don't think I know anyone remotely close to me that has committed suicide, but I've heard of some. It is those who are left behind, of course, in 3D who are left to pick up the pieces and to figure it out. It is a very, very confusing thing. Confusing because we all face troubles and challenges in our lives. We all go through things we'd rather not go through, as well as the things we'd rather go through. But if we can understand, which is to accept, that suicide is no more and no less than pressing the reset button, I guess that can give you some solace. It all depends on what your idea of life and death is, though, of course. With my idea of life and death, it's simply a naive act. What you resist will persist. So don't bother pressing the reset button if you think you can escape it, because you can't. Whatever is troubling you enough for you to try and run away from, you can never run away from it. The only thing you can do is deal with it. Go through the emotions. Do whatever you have to do to process it. But don't press the reset button, because you'll be starting again.